Hello ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome here again on the channel of the SEG eRacing Academy. We're bringing to you the first ever stage race of an U23 series here. I'm joined by someone who became a dad last week. Congratulations on that. Yuri, hello.
Hey Casper, thank you very much, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, a new chance, this time in Borrego Springs. It didn't work out quite well on the Paterberg, but there are a lot of new changes here in RGT, so I think we can make it a good stream. One thing that we've added as well is we've added a few riders, and we can actually interview them before the start, isn't it, Yuri?
Yeah, it is, and I'm pretty excited about what they are expecting of the race today, because we did this same circuit, of course, one time before in the last couple of days of April. So I'm pretty excited and wondering what they have to say to us.
Yeah, so let's begin with the interviews. So the first rider we're interviewing at the moment, he's from the SEG eRacing Academy. He became fourth in the Ster van Zwolle this year, one of the few road races that went on actually before the coronavirus kicked in. And he's here tonight. Let me introduce you, Yuri Mills. Hello, Jordi.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
So good evening, Jordi. It's really hot outside. How do you keep yourself cool actually in this e-race?
Right now I'm actually in the basement because it's a few degrees cooler than in the living room or outside. And as you can see, I have a long jersey on. I put it in the freezer before, so I hope this will keep me cool.
Looks cool. Yeah. So what do you think about e-racing actually? Is it something that you really like, or is it something that you think of, let's finish this off as quickly as possible and then go back to road racing again?
Are you asking that, Casper, to a guy who's in an e-racing team?
No, it's an e-racing team now, but maybe he doesn't like it, eh? I hope he's honest.
Sure. I was just joking.
I don't dislike it. For me personally, real races on the road, I enjoy them more. But I think it's a really good initiative to get through this difficult time. And it keeps you going, it keeps you motivated, and you have something to work for. So for me, this is a very good option in Corona times.
Yeah, okay, I understand that. Hey. Yeah, Yuri, let's go.
Yuri, about the real races, one question. The revised calendar of the UCI is published this week. But in the U23 circuit, I am missing all the Belgian races, like Tour of Flanders for Espoirs and Gent-Wevelgem. Do you know anything about these races? Are those all cancelled for this year?
No, I don't have an idea on that, to be honest. I really hope they will continue because I like those races a lot. And for me, that's what the meaning of cycling is, the cobblestone classic.
Mm-hmm. So then tomorrow also will be a good day for you when you can tackle the Paterberg.
Actually, look forward to it. So.
Yeah, okay, so I think he said that he was looking forward to it. A little problem there with the internet connection, but we're just going to keep on going. Jordi, one final question for you. David Dekker is obviously the favorite for today. Are you able to give him some kind of lead out, or is it actually impossible with an e-race?
No, I think it's possible. It's not that simple than on the road. But I think it's definitely possible. But it's just like a case of staying together. And the timing has to be perfect. So for sure it's harder, but I think it's possible.
Okay, we'll see it then. We're gonna watch you. Thank you, Jordi, for joining us. Do you have a question for Jordi once again, Yuri, or?
If you think he's able to beat David today.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. The goal is not to beat David. The goal is to win this race as a team, and we'll work for that.
Okay. Good luck, Jordi.
Thank you.
So we have another interview coming up. This is the Dutch national champion of the juniors last year, Yuri. Actually, he's riding at the Jumbo Visma Racing Academy, and he's here tonight for the first stage of the SEG eRacing U23 series. Axel van der Tuk. Good evening, Axel.
Good evening.
So,
Thank you.
how are you doing during this time? Do you enjoy yourself still? Are you training a lot?
Yeah, I think like everyone else, just doing the basics and enjoying riding on my bike. It's nice weather at least, so yeah.
Yeah, you have raced a few races on Zwift as well for the Jumbo-Visma E competition. How did that go?
Yeah, we every Sunday we have our own like competition, and yeah, it goes actually quite well. I won one race one time, but all the time I get somewhere top 10. But it's hard to really win it actually.
Are you racing on the Alp on Sunday as well, or are you not doing that?
Excuse me?
Are you racing the Alp to Zwift as well on Sunday for the Jumbo E competition, or?
I'm starting, yes.
Yeah, so the Mont Ventoux and the Alp to Zwift in one weekend for Axel van der Tuuk.
Yeah, probably yes. Will be a hard weekend. So yeah, but yeah, I look forward to. I like eRacing a lot. So
Yeah.
no.
What do you think about what do you think about today, Axel? Any chances of doing well in this this circuit?
Yeah, it's really flat, and I like that actually. But it's last time I didn't know really what happened, but I managed to get in the second group after I think 2 kilometers. So I hope I can stay now in the first group, and then I hope I can get a nice result. But yeah, I didn't know how it really worked with because it's really different than like Swift, for example. And yeah, it's I think it's really nice.
Do you think it's better than Zwift, actually more realistic, or?
I think the slipstream is quite realistic here at Swift as well. It is really, this is just a real different game. It's if you're not in the wheel in this game, then yeah, you're actually dropped directly. But in Swift, you still have a chance actually. But now, yeah, so you really have to manage to stay in the wheels here, and it really helps to stay in the slipstream here.
Yeah,
more
and you said the last time you were in the second group pretty quickly. How important is it for you to do a good start now and this at this time?
Yeah, I think it's really important because in the start you have to. It's just like riding in an echelon. If you're not in the first group, then you just have to make sure you're in the first group, and otherwise you just won't come back again.
Yeah.
So the start is pretty important for you.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
So what's the main goal actually? Going for a good result, or just staying in the same time as the winner?
No, for sure going for a good result. But to get a good result, you have to make sure you're there. So yeah, you know, if you're a good sprinter, you first have to make it to the line. Otherwise, you are not able to get a good result. So yeah, the main goal is staying there, and then we will see what's going to happen. And yeah, you never know, eh?
Yeah, thank you, Axel, for commenting for this interview, and good luck on the race, eh?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, Yuri, those were Jordi Meeuws and Axel van der Tuuk, but they are of course not the only ones racing here today. Let's take a quick look at the start list. There are around 72 riders or something that are racing today from a lot of teams as well. Are there some favorites for you actually?
Yeah, sure. We did this circuit, of course, once before, and then that time David Dekker was the winner. So I think he's the main favorite for this race once again. He's, of course, one of the strongest sprinters in this field, but there are also a lot of other riders who can do it quite well. I think actually another guys from SEG will also do a good thing here, like Jordi Meeuws, for example, but also Michael Zeilert could do very well over here. You also have Morten Hulgaard of the Uno X Norwegian development team, who's a fast guy. So he, if he's still up there in the final kilometers, he will be a nice competitor for the SEG racing team, I think. And also Dennis Grasvold, who is a part of the Dare Bikes development team, also a Norwegian team. I think those will be the main guys who will challenge David the most.
Yeah, Dennis Grasvold was fourth last time in the Borrego Springs criterium, and there's one more rider, or actually two more riders that also got into the top 10 of that first race. Matthijs Lohman is today here, number 164. He finished 7th last time in the Borrego criterium, and Daan Hoeks for the WPGA team finished in 10th position. WPGA, very actually WPGA in Dutch. Very strong team as well. Vincent Hoppelzak racing on Zwift every Wednesday. He raced yesterday as well. And he won that first race of the Zwift NL League. So let's see how he does it today on RGT. 2.5 more minutes, Yuri. And then we'll start off the first ever stage race here in the U23 E-Series.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited because like we saw the last time when the start was there, it was... nearly after a few minutes, the bunch was split in two groups. So I'm wondering to see if everybody is going to kick out loud in the start, and just to make sure they're in the front group. So I think it will be pretty aggressive in the first couple of minutes, and then when the front group is formed, then the pace maybe will be a little bit lowered, but. We'll have to see that, but yeah, I do think the start will be pretty aggressive.
Yeah, currently looking at Mikel Mujica. He's warming up there for the Caja Rural team. Hello, Mikel. He's waving at us. Will Roberts is also there. We're just following a few riders today. I think it's a good addition. We as well do have shirts, or actually kits as they call it. The kits are for every single team. There are different kits today. You can also see the rider names on top. So I think everything is looking better and better and better. RGT is really improving, listening to what we want. And they are just doing it. So thanks to them. So it's actually a flat course today. Last time it was quite boring, I must say. Do you think there will be a leading group today, like really a breakaway? Or is it going to be one big peloton that's trying to drop as many riders as possible?
I think it will be the last one, because if there will be some sort of a front group or a leading group, it will be very difficult also for the other riders in the bunch to reel in those escapees, because like you said, it's a flat course. It's really somehow easy race. So I think we won't see any breakaways. In this race, but maybe the riders will surprise us. So let's see what the action will bring us.
Yeah, I'm quite curious as well, because it's the first stage, and the question always is, do you need to go full out on that first stage, or maybe spare a bit for tomorrow? We'll find it out in about 10 seconds. We're going to start the stream. Are we going to count down, Yuri, as it is New Year, or are we just going to wait for the gun?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There we go, we've just started the race, yeah, unbelievable. I can see that all the riders are moving pretty fast down the field. Almost everyone is gone away there, so no problems at the start. We see a rider with number 133, Campbell Pitti from Team Skoda Fruzio, who has taken the lead, but now things go really fast. The lead is changed quickly all the time. Yuri, as we expected, a really, really fast start, eh?
Yeah, because no one wants to miss the front group, and it's very important to make sure you're in that first group if you want to win. Because if you get dropped, then it's very difficult to get back into the first group. So yeah, that's what we're expecting, and it's nice to see that this is happening at this moment.
Yeah, Jordi Meeuws, we saw him there. We spoke about with him before the race, and he was there at the front of the group. So he is really focusing on today's race, and he has started off well, just as Joris Haaks, for example. We're currently following Will Robert, but I'm going to change to Julius Johansson. He's one of the riders who we are following as well from the UNOX Norwegian development team. Do you know something about that development team, Juri?
Yeah, of course. It's actually a pro-continental team. Who is doing great stuff for Scandinavian cycling. A lot of Norwegian and Danish riders who joined that team. Nearly almost big talents like Julius, for example. Julius was world champion in Qatar in the junior ranks a couple of years ago. So it's really really strong rider. He also won Olympia's Tour in 2018. If I correct me if I'm wrong. And yeah, it's a pretty solid team. I saw there was a climb time trial yesterday in Norway, which was won by Andreas Leknesund, who's also part of that team. So it's a very nice team to follow and to see what they can do on the road, but also in this virtual e-racing.
Yeah, I'm seeing that David Decker has already been dropped. He's riding 722 watts at the moment to get back to the peloton. Yeah, we interviewed him during a test stream as well, and he's having a little problems with his internet connection, so that could be the case. David Decker seriously having troubles there, riding in 51st position, but the peloton actually dropping down with the speed. So David is back in the bunch, but he really needs to watch out for those internet connection loss. It's like the flat tire of the e-races. You don't want your internet to shut down. We also saw Pau Laneras from the Caja Rural Seguros team. He was also behind, and I don't think he's going to get back to the peloton. So a few riders who are having trouble with their internet connection. But actually, it's all going well at the moment. The servers are up. We see the different kits. We see who is riding where. As an example, we see Harrison Wood there in position 37 in the peloton for the SEG eRacing Academy team. So yeah, I think we got off to a good start here of this stage race. We're currently looking at Nick McKibben, the last rider we have in the Zoom call we are watching today. And Nick is riding at the Holdsworth Seppi Racing team. So I'm trying to move down the field a little bit. Sometimes it's a little bit hard, but everyone is still in the pack. We can see Julius Johansson at the left side of the field. No attacks. It's Tristan Jusson from the Canada national team who is riding at the front of the pack. But now the lead is with Milan Paulus.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that some teams are really trying to do some sort of a tactics, because we see a lot of guys from the SEG eRacing team at the front. So I think that it is the team tactic to keep one bunch and to try to make sure they win the race with, for example, David Decker, who outsprinted the rest of the field in the last time we did this circuit. So I think that will be the plan for them. But it's nice to see that also some other riders are trying to make up some sort of a breakaway at this moment.
Yeah, we're currently watching Sindre Coolset from the UnoX Norwegian team, somewhere around the back of the peloton, trying to switch around with the cameras a little bit. Jordi Mills, he told us about that jacket, that he put it in the freezer. He's already taken it off, so I don't think it's really working out well. But it's actually, Jordi, it's really important to keep yourself cool in this hot period of time.
Yeah, especially I don't know what the weather is in other parts of Europe at the moment, but here in the Netherlands it was a pretty warm day today. So yeah, it's always, of course, it's important to keep your body cool, and because if you don't do that, you quickly will get need to hydrate yourself a lot more quicker than before. So that's yeah, it's pretty important to keep yourself calm and cool. So yeah, that was a pretty nice way of Jordi to try to keep himself cool. But I think it doesn't work that well today, because what you said, he already took it off.
Yeah, it's really hot. We can see Axel van der Tuuk. He doesn't have a normal head at the moment. It's like a tomato. It's so as red as it gets.
See any attacks at this moment. Just following a few riders here in the peloton. Let's see. There are actually two guys in the back, and that's just the two of us. And also, Tom Cousins hasn't made the split, so he's trying to get back. Jesper Ras also is dropped, and David Decker is dropped also.
Ooh, David Decker. Paul Wright is being dropped.
Paul Wright, who's also dropped,
yeah,
but he got back in the peloton just a few seconds ago. But David Decker and Jesper Ras both are dropped at the moment, so that's pretty difficult for them. But David is trying to get back at this moment.
Yeah, his heart rate is 179, so I think he can try to go a little harder, but he's already 30 meters behind Harrison Wood. So I think he's in trouble at the moment there, David Dekker. Yeah, maybe a little problems with his internet connection. It looks like he's not going to be the winner of the first stage of the Borrego Spring Classic, which is of course a hard conclusion for him. He won the classic race. I can see that Joskelin Ryan is supporting Dave Rayner Fund rider Dylan Wesley, Harrison Wood and Mason Hollyman. So go on you guys there from Great Britain. Thank you Joskelin for joining the stream. Some more comments as well. If you want to cheer on the riders, you can always do that, and I will try to mention you in the live stream, which is of course really cool, I think. So Axel is, look at that, he's really, really red. It's 26 degrees actually in the Netherlands today, especially if you're not at the coast. I saw that it was 33 degrees in Spain, so yeah, you really need to keep yourself cool, and it's really tough in the summer. You can see that Mikael Mushika is actually doing quite well at the moment. There we go, he's able to cheer at us. Look at that, look at that. He is, he's having a fun time, man, on the trainer. That's actually very rare, that you're having a good time during a race on an e-trainer.
Yeah, but let's cheer for him, because it's very well. He's enjoying the time.
Yeah, his kit is still zipped up, so I think he's feeling really comfortable there. Keep going, Mikael.
It looks like some of the SEG riders are going to the back of the first group, just to make sure maybe David is coming back, because David Dekker is still 300 meters behind the peloton.
Yeah,
but it's really difficult to see. But even in the last race, it was very difficult, because we didn't saw David Dekker once, and then all of a sudden he won the race. So maybe it's also a little bit of a tactic, but I doubt if this is a good one at this moment.
Well, I can tell you, Yuri, his power output is 180 watts, and that's actually something that's done at a quiet training, so when you're not really wanting to put down the watts. His heart rate is 144, so I think he's just pedaling to the finish line, and I think it's all over for David Dekker here, as he is 500 meters behind the first group, who are just riding and riding and riding on. So David Dekker is not gonna win today, I can tell you that.
No, it looks like that. So I think we have to focus. But now it's pretty nice to see. So we asked Jordi Meeuws before the race if he was thinking about winning, and he said, "Well, we want to win as a team." But if I look at the start list, well, it could very well be the case that Jordi Meeuws will be the fastest guy for SEG eRacing Academy today. So it's pretty amazing. Maybe we spoke to the winner before the start.
Yeah, it could be possible. Then we have him in the Zoom already. That's also fine, because we want to go with the winner as well. We saw the Hungarian team at the front there with Gergo Orosz, who is trying to keep the pace high, trying to distance David Dekker even more and more. You really need to be there in the first group to make sure that you're, not being at the time distance there with the time gap, because the stage race is of course on time, so you need to be there. And I see that there are a few people in trouble there. Matthijs Lohman is behind. We can see that Mikael Mujica is also behind.
Someone talking in the stream, but that's not a real problem.
No. Maybe it's a little more information. So Mikael, watch out, man. You were waving at us, but now you're behind. You really need to put those watts up. Come on, man. You can do it. Do you think Mikael is going to get back, Yuri?
I don't know where he is at the moment. Here he is. Well, it could be. He still be within 100 meters, so he can still see some of the riders in front of him. So maybe he has some help here from Matthijs Lohman. So maybe those two can get back to the bunch. But we'll have to see how this will develop.
Matthijs Lohman, he was 7th in the stage race, so together with David Dekker, one of the guys that managed to get into the top 10, and that's here today as well, and he is being distant. Mikael is trying to get back. His heart rate is 191 there. He's following the wheel of Matthijs Lohman. He's saving 140 watts. With that, you can see that at the top of the screen at the left side. Now he's taking over, but they are being distant. I can see that the peloton is 90 meters away, and on the flat circuit as the Borrego Springs, it's really hard to get back, Yuri.
And yeah, it is. And we had some sort of a breakaway, because Tijmen Arendsman was in front. But he's just reeled in by the Finnish guy, who's called Vetivanio. But it was some sort of a breakaway, and now we see two other guys trying to make a slip. It's
Paul
with number
Wright.
43. It's Paul Wright from the Holsworth Sappi Racing team, together with number 42, and that is Karl Tronstad, also from the Holsworth Sappi team.
Yeah, Paul Wright being called back by the peloton, but Carl is having a little gap there on the peloton. I think that's the biggest gap from now on in the race, but it's not really a big problem for the peloton. They're just easily getting back in his wheel there. We can see Caleb Klaassen at the front as well from the United States. So almost everyone, still in the big peloton there. There are a lot of riders who are still able to think about that magical stage win. And also the leader's jersey, Yuri. We have a leader's jersey in this race.
Yeah, we have, and it's pretty nice to see. But we also see another attack now, and that's a pretty impressive one from Nick McKibben, the Irish guy who was also... I have to go back to him.
Yeah, I'm also having difficulties with that, but Nick McKibben is actually leading the race at the moment. Here you see him at the right side of your screen there at the bottom, and he is having 50 meters of an advantage at the peloton, riding 6.2 watts per kilogram. It's actually possible to maybe bring this home, but yeah, you need to really work hard there. 6 watt per kilogram, it's maybe doable for McKibben there to finish it off for Holsworth Seppi team. It's the most attacking team at the moment, Holsworth Seppi. We saw Paul Wright, we saw Karl Tronstad, and now it's Nick McKibben at the front there.
Yeah, I think they have thought about some chances because some of the fast guys already dropped. So maybe they think let's try to attack and try to win this race. And that's I think it's very nice to see such attractive racing today.
Yeah, if we had a prize for the teams that are really
competitive rider.
Yeah, exactly. Then maybe Nick McKibben needed to get it. We're here currently looking at him. Joris Haaks is currently at the front of the peloton. He's chasing him back. Well, actually in the peloton they're just riding 4 watt per kilogram. Nick McKibben is riding 6 watt per kilogram. It's oh so hard to be there up at front. You really need a few riders with you to make sure that you have a chance to break away. And I think with this turn coming up here, Nick McKibben is being called back by the peloton. But we really need to applaud him actually for this attack, because I think it's good for the race.
Yeah, let's see who's the next one who will try to attack. And I think that's again Tijmen Arendsman of the SEG eRacing team. But all of a sudden he's already reeled in again by Paul Wright from the Holsworth Sappi team. They are really riding attractive at the moment.
Yeah, David Dekker not anymore in the group, so a lot of people are thinking about victory and how to get there. And I think Tijmen Arendsman also thinks, maybe I can try to go from far out, maybe I can try to attack, because David Dekker is not anymore in the group. We don't need to think about him anymore, so maybe try to get there. And Yuri, if they are getting a time distance, it will of course be a huge advantage for the next 2 stages.
Yeah, of course. It's those 2 stages are a little bit harder, so it's it's easier to gain time in those 2 stages. But if there is a possibility for a rider who is thinking about the GC, and there is a possibility to take some time in this stage, well, that would be a big advantage if some sort of groups stay together in the next two stages.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, we're finishing on Mont Ventoux, which is a really hard climb, so a few seconds might not do the trick to you, but indeed, if you finish in a group, if it is a sprint finish, then maybe it can help out to you. We see another attack there from Campbell Pitti from the team Skoda Fruzio, but he's being reeled in by one of the guys from the SEG eRacing Academy. A lot of attacks, a lot of things happening at the front of the peloton, but no one so far who can really, who could have really made a difference. So we're still watching the peloton. At the right top of your screen you can see the speed, you can see the slope, you can see the time, you can also see the remaining distance. That's also a huge advantage to us. So 25.7 kilometers to go. It's still a really long time and it's really hard to attack now and make it to the end.
Yeah, sure, but like I just said, it's a lot more attractive racing than we saw a couple of weeks ago when we did this Borrico circuit the first time. I'm pretty excited, pretty pumped how things are working out. Now we see some other attacks now. Jori Meus is trying to attack. But Casper, maybe you can tell us more about this RGT platform, because Everyone knows Swift, of course, one of the other platforms. You've got Ruvi and a couple of more. But can you tell me more what makes a difference on this RGT platform if you compare it to the other ones?
Well, yeah, it's of course the eRacing platform as all the other platforms. So yeah, Swift is actually quite comparable, but I think RGT is actually more realistic. But so, for example, if you go through the corners, you really need to slow down there. If you ride in too much watts, then you also need to, then you're actually not saving energy. So you have the possibility there to play it more like you would have played it in real life. And I think that makes it, different to Swift as well, and actually more realistic than Swift. So of course, there are a few things that could have been improved, but you see that we're now looking at a way better realistic race than last time. And RGT, as I said, you can draft more, you can see how many watts you're saving. That's really cool as well. So a lot of things there that are different to Swift, and in my opinion are better to Swift as well.
Yeah, it's more like what you said. It's more realistic. So I think it's of course it's not comparable to real racing, but maybe this platform will get some touch of real racing. But the question you asked to Jordi before of the race was actually pretty interesting. It's
Axel, even je mond houden, jongen.
Oh, sorry.
But it was actually a pretty interesting question, because to do a lead out for something, for somebody in a race is of course very hard. But to do a lead out for someone who's not actually in your wheel and is, for example, 200 kilometers away from you, that seems really hard to me. So I'm really, curious to see if there will be some sort of lead out in the final sprint today.
Yeah, it is possible. I've seen a few Swift races where people did a lead out. It's really hard to do. So if we can see it today, then it would be magical actually. But it is actually possible. People who go like 700 watts at 500 meters to go, and if your teammate knows that you're doing that, he will be up front at that time being. So then he will be there at the front, and it's of course a huge advantage. As I'm hearing a few sounds here through the Zoom.
Yeah, me too. It's a bit cracky at the moment, but it's doable.
It's if it is very windy, yeah? Maybe there's wind on the Borrego Spring course.
Yeah, you don't know it. Maybe there is. Also, what's pretty amazing, we didn't see any flat tires or crashes at the moment.
No, that's of course a good
at
thing.
All at this rate.
Maybe the juniors should race more with this, because the juniors always used to crash. So maybe they can try to race on the RGT platform as well, because there are no crashes, of course.
No, but also crashing is also has things to do with the cycling sport, of course. So if you never crash, then you will never be a real cyclist, I've always learned.
That's true. That's true.
Whoopla. We see another attack, Casper, on front.
Yeah, is it?
It's again Nick McKibben who's trying to break away.
Unbelievable, Nick McKibben attacking there for that Holsworth Seppi racing team. He's again taking around 30 minutes, or 30 meters, I need to say, to the pack. So really good attack, really competitive there, Nick McKibben.
Are you still alive, Casper?
I'm still alive. I'm just hearing a lot of noise at the moment, but...
Yeah, me too. Do you know where it's from?
No, actually not.
Okay.
Maybe David can have a look at it. He's also in the Zoom chat, because it's actually really hard to deal with. I can't see anyone. Yeah, Mikael Mushika didn't mute himself, but...
Well, maybe this is the sound of a crash, so maybe we can do something like a crash, but
yeah, I'm actually I don't know what's going wrong actually, but we're just going to move on, because Nick McKibben is having 40 meters at advantage to the peloton at the moment. Milan Paulus trying to chase him down, but Nick isn't really bad. He's not a bad rider. He's trying to stay away from the peloton, and I think that's a good thing.
No, yeah, it is, and also Nick is pretty good time trialist. If I'm correct, if I'm not wrong, he was. I have to dig deep in my mind, but if I wasn't wrong, he was 5th at the Irish National Championships.
It's unbelievable. I don't know what's happening, but we're currently hearing a lot of noise. Oh goodness me! Now it's gone. Maybe that's. It's gone. The wind is over.
As well.
And also the attack of Nick McKibben is over. Sorry guys for the... Oh, no. Okay, hopefully it's gone now.
Nope. Back at it again.
Oh, how is it possible? Well, we're just going to watch the race. I can see from...
David Dekker is turning pedals again.
Is he? Yeah.
I was just stripping to the field, and now I see he's riding at 39 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, maybe he needs to finish this race to be able to start the second stage as well in the Paterberg.
Yeah,
I haven't heard about the rules as well, but I think it's better to do so. Otherwise, the juries will decide, and maybe you need to pay them then, to try to be able to get back into the.
Yeah, but that's not the way I like to do it. So let's try and do do it the correct way. So David can pay a lot if he wants, but I'm not going to. We're not going to take it easy on him.
There we go. Mikel Mujica was making a lot of noise, and now it's gone forever, I hope. Thank you, Bart, there for helping us out. We're currently watching it. Jordi Meeuwis, his head is getting a little red at the moment, but I think he's still looking quite okay. Do you think he's a favorite? 4th in the Ster van Zwolle this year already on the road?
Yeah, and Jordi, of course, is one of the more mature guys in this field. He's one of the last year's under 23. He's also quite quick, so I think he can do a good sprint in the final few kilometers. So we'll have to see if he's capable of replacing David Dekker, who is of course out of the game for the win today. So I think Jordi could be a future winner of this race, but we have to see how this race will develop and if there will be a sprint. Maybe Nick McKibben will attack once again in the final few kilometers.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal actually if he does that. You can see that Josqueline Ryan thinks Paul Wright is going to win. We see Tristan Jussoom as well for the Canada national team. So let us know who you think is going to win this race. I'm actually really curious because I don't know all of the riders in the peloton today. Maybe there are some hidden gems, as they call it in a real game. So maybe we should call it hidden gems as well here. We're currently looking at a peloton. Owain Roberts from the Wales Racing Academy is actually taking on the peloton there, and we're currently watching at Will Roberts at the right bottom of the screen, and he's having a tough time. He's racing as hard as he can.
Yeah, he is, and but also the other riders are riding pretty hard at the moment, because I see that the pace at this moment is for now it's 47 kilometers per hour, so that's pretty amazing. Although it's of course a virtual race and everybody's inside, but it's still warm. So the pace is pretty high at the moment, and everybody is doing their best and trying hard to keep themselves in front of this bunch.
Yeah, I have to say to you, Will Roberts is trying to get back to the bunch. He's being left behind currently in 42nd position, 50 meters behind Daan Hole, who's currently in last position in the peloton. So we're missing out on Mikel Mujica, who's being distant. And now maybe Will Roberts is also going to lose contact with the peloton forever, which is of course really sad. Also for the general classification, a few guys there who are not looking at their screen constantly, and then you can be a big how do you say that? Then you can be done for this race.
Yeah, it's a real possibility. So you have to keep on moving and keep on hammering the pedals. So to keep in front of this race, and it's really hard, because if you lose you lose the front group, it's very hard to get back, especially when you're on your own. So I think that everybody is just trying to maintain their position in this group, and still waiting for the sprint and what already will be in 17.5 kilometers. So we're getting pretty close to some excitement in the final few kilometers.
Drop down for Kian Kircho, so he is also being distant there. It's not a good time to have a drop down, eh?
No, not at all, because especially at this moment, I see now that some guys are actually riding 57 kilometers per hour. It was Magnus Coulset who was actually going from the front of the group to the front of the group, so that was why he was accelerating. But if you lose contact now, it's really, really difficult to get back and then also get yourself in a good position to sprint, and then afterwards trying to get a result. So if you get lost, you get dropped now, it's I'm pretty sure you won't win this race.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Of course, you don't want to get dropped. You want to spare as much as possible for that final sprint. Do you know if there are bonification seconds as well for the winner or not?
No, I don't think so. But I don't know. But I don't think so. And it also would be pretty disastrous if then some other guy about of the sprints doesn't win today. Because if, for example, Tijmen Arendsman wins today, he's one of the better climbers in this peloton, then he will gain valuable seconds for tomorrow, and especially for the day after tomorrow. So I hope it's not there are not too many bonification seconds at the finish line, but I don't actually know if there are bonification seconds.
I don't think so, because I haven't heard of it. So yeah, talking about that general classification, we will have a leader jersey tomorrow for the winner of this stage. It's a pink jersey, and the one who wears it after Mont Ventoux is going to be Yuri.
The first winner of this first ever under 23 SEG eRacing series. So yeah, it's a pretty historical moment if for the person who will win that pink jersey on Saturday, because we're Thursday.
Yeah, I actually wanted to know from you who.
Friday.
I actually wanted to know from you who is it going to be, that winner.
It's difficult. I think Tijmen will do a pretty good output. Harrison Wood is also a good climber who can do well on the Mont Ventoux stage, but I don't know how he will react on the Paterberg round tomorrow. And other riders who could do well are, for example, Corbin Strong, also from the SEG eRacing Academy. I'm also wondering how Axel van der Tuuk will do, because he also has a good time trial. And if you race these virtual climbs, of course, it's not always really important to climb well, but also to put down some watts. So I'm very curious if he can have a go on Saturday. And the same counts for Julius Johansson, who's also a very strong guy. So maybe those guys also can do a good job and try to battle for the GC.
Yeah, I'm really curious as well. I actually have no clue who's going to win it. Those are all really talented under 23 riders. They are all really, really good. So we need to find it out. I think it's very cool if you already know who's going to win it. It's not a cool race. And now it's completely open as we are down to the last 2 rounds of the race. And I also heard that there are no bonification seconds. So forget about that. No bonification seconds. And I think that's a good thing as well.
Yeah, that is. And I also still want to mention Ruben Thompson, who's from New Zealand and who can also do a good GC here, I think. He was going to ride for the Monty team, the development team of the Koenig Quickstep, but that team already folded before it started, so that was really a pity, because there were some pretty big talents were going to race for that team, but unfortunately something went wrong, and the team was never up there, unfortunately.
Kees Quint cheering on Tijmen Arendsman. So Tijmen, this one is for you. Go on. I think the most important day for Tijmen is the last day, of course, for all the riders who want to win the GC. The last day on Mont Ventoux is really important, but also we're racing the Paterberg tomorrow, and the Paterberg could also be a really, really tough race there. A lot of turns, a lot of climbs. It's more for the explosive riders, and maybe someone can try to attack there. But I want to look at the race now as Vincent Hoppenzak is trying to attack. He is currently riding at 5 watts per kilogram. He is having 10 meters in front of the peloton, but he's been caught by Tristan Jusson, one of the favorites for today's race, if Bruno Pallardi has to say it. But now Vincent is back in the peloton. We're all together here. 13.5 kilometers to go.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if we maybe you don't know him, but in the past we had in the Netherlands we had Jelle Nijdam, who was really a specialist in attacking in the last kilometers and surprising sprinters. So, for example, when I was watching with my grandfather races a couple of years ago, he always said, "Well, I'm wondering if there's someone going to do a Nijdammetje." So I'm very curious to see if there is one of the riders here who thinks, well, maybe we can try to attack in the last kilometer and do some sort of a Jelle Nijdam. So I'm very curious if it's going to be a sprint.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting what you're saying at the moment. I remember the sprint stage in the Giro, I think it was, where Robert Kluge attacked with 1 kilometer to go and he won it. It was a very, very impressive thing he did. I think it's kind of a big track rider who does that, eh? Going at like 1 kilometer to go, then going 600 watts and winning the race.
Yeah, it is, because you have to put out pretty impressive numbers for over a kilometer. So it's really difficult, and there are not many riders who can do such things. But maybe one of these riders is one of the riders we didn't talk about yet is capable of doing some sort of thing. So maybe we are encouraging them to do some sort of thing. So if someone is hearing this and thinks, well, I can do some sort of a last kilometer and place an attack over there to surprise the sprinters, well, please let us enjoy.
Yeah, it would be crazy if someone does that. Otherwise, we're just going to go to a mass sprint as we did last race on the 27th of April it was, I think. But David Dekker is already being distant for the guys who came in later. He is not going to win today's race. Maybe Campbell Pitti is going to win the race. He's going on to the attack for the Scolia Fruzio team. But already there are 4 riders from the SEG eRacing Academy at the front, and they are trying to catch him back. They are really trying to go for a mass sprint, or at least keep the pack together as long as possible.
Yeah, and Campbell Pitti is maybe a really dangerous guy, because his younger brother Lawrence Pitti is a world champion on the track in the junior ranks. Really good rider who's debuting this season in the Netherlands. He will ride for Willebroedwil Vooruit, one of the club teams in the Netherlands. But if he has some sort of the same talent, maybe Campbell Pitti can keep this up for the next 11.5 kilometers.
Yeah, it would be crazy, but I can see that the pack is already there together. 11.5 kilometers to go. If you were not a sprinter, what would you do, Yuri?
Well, I would wait for, of course, the last kilometer to maintain my position, make sure I won't lose any time on my fellow components. And if I had something left in the tank and the pace would drop at some point, then I would think about attacking, but only if I think I could make a chance to win, because if you don't have a chance to win and you still are attacking, it's just useless energy you burn. So I think it's important to, if you can attack in the last kilometer, if you're not a sprinter, you can have a try, but I would advise only do it when you think you can win.
Yeah, you really, really need good legs there. There are, of course, a lot of guys lurking for victory today here in the peloton. They are all good, otherwise you wouldn't be up there. So, it's going to be really complicated if you want to win. We're currently watching Tristan Jusson once again from the Canada national team. He went up there at the front of the peloton. I saw Dennis Gratsvold also there. He is actually the first guy who did the Borrego Spring Classic race on the 27th of April, who is still in the peloton. He was 4th last time. David Dekker isn't there anymore, and the guys who became 2nd and 3rd, Reto Müller and Ben Tillett, they are not participating today. So maybe Dennis Grasvold, it's going to be his day.
Yeah, maybe he's the guy to beat, but yeah, I don't know him that well. But maybe this is a reason for me to look at his results a little bit further, because he was also fourth last time. If he gets a short result again this time, well, yeah, then we can say he's a fast guy, for example. And then yeah, I'm very curious to see if that the same will unfold if the road racing will start back again in August.
Yeah, you're completely right. Still one peloton, 10 kilometers to go. We're almost going to go at the last lap. Are you good in doing bell sounds, Yuri?
Ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Is that something near a real bell?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a few more kilometers, and then you can do it all day long. If it is on me, Harrison Wood at the left side of the peloton is moving down the field. He is currently accelerating there, and he's trying to attack away. I think it's really hard because what we see at the left side of the screen is not always what we see at the road. So like when Harrison Wood is riding in first position, at the left side of the screen they say that he's riding in 10th position or something. So we need to watch out on that. All things we say are not official until we get the full results. So keep that in mind. I am looking at the comment section quickly. Hello there, Alexandra Tudor. Thank you for joining the stream. Ida Schelling thinks Jordi Meeuws is going to win. Jesse Reed thinks that Philipp Heinen is going to win. And Martijn Arendsman also thinks that Jordi Meeuws is going to win. So a lot of people who think that Jordi Meeuws is going to win, Jordi.
Yeah, and that's also a pretty good pick. Ida will know because he was a teammate of Jordi for a couple of years. Ida Schelling is now riding Bora Hansgrohe. Most people will know that, I think. And also I think Martijn Arendsman will know because he's the father of Tijmen Arendsman. And I think I will go with him and put the pressure on Jordi for winning today.
Okay. So then I'm going to go for Dennis Grasvold and see who gets it right. Maybe both of us get it wrong. I can see that Joost Katoen is cheering on Matthijs Lohman. He was 7th in the classic race, but he's being dropped at the moment, so no good result for him today, and also no good result in the general classification that will end on Saturday with the Mont Ventoux race. Yeah, are you ready, Yuri, for your bell sound? Because I think this is the last turn, and then we're going to go to the final lap of the first stage here in the SEG eRacing Under 23 series, powered by RGT and Join. There we go, Yuri.
Yeah, I think I will have a try and make sure that it will. Like here we go, like ting a ling 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 a ling. Where's the finish line? Ting a ling 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 a ling.
Keep going. We're not there.
Yes, we passed the finish
line. Perfect. I think everyone knows we're in the final lap at the moment, and if you don't know it, you need to look at the right top of the screen. Remaining, it says 7.6 kilometers, so one more lap here around the Borrego Spring Circuit. Around 30 guys still left in the peloton, so a lot of riders being dropped as well due to a bad internet connection or just because of bad legs. We'll maybe try to know it afterwards. But now we're looking at Axel van der Tuuk, who's really good there at the front of the peloton. He's doing a lot of e-races, as he said in the interview before the race. He's doing the Alpe d'Huez on Sunday as well, so a really hard program for him. So I don't think he's going to attack in the final kilometer, but maybe he's going to sprint for victory today, Yuri.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm very curious to see because a couple of sprinters already lost tracks today. So maybe we will also see a surprising name or a guy who isn't a sprinter, for example, because you've also had some Swift races before on Eurosport. The Tour of All was it named? I think so.
Yeah, Tour for All.
Yeah, Two for All, that was the name I was searching for. And also you saw some riders over there who weren't actually sprinters, but who did a pretty good and impressive final sprint and surprised some of the main sprinters over there. So maybe we also have guys in this pack who can surprise us and maybe snitch the win.
Yeah, because a sprint on an e-racing platform or something like Swift or RGT maybe as well, it's actually really difficult to sprint there. Normally on the road it's like you need a good lead out, you need a lot of pace, and then you can go at 200 meters to go, which is of course also really, really difficult. But it's something different for an e-racing actually. I can hear from a lot of guys that going at around 350 meters to go is also a good thing. So going from really far out, trying to go at first actually, or maybe try to spare and then be there at the right time. Drafting is really important. A lot of things that are different compared to road racing. So yeah, you need to master the tactic as well. And by doing a lot of e-races, that's also a good thing. So yeah, as I said, Dennis Graasvold, 4th in the classic. He knows how to do it, of course, otherwise you wouldn't be 4th. But also Vincent Hoppelzak, who's racing on Zwift every week, who won a sprint there in the Zwift NL League. It was a really impressive sprint there from him. So yeah, I think Vincent Hoppelzak is also a sprinter who knows how to time it correctly, who knows how to do it. As we see Milan Paulus currently at the front of the peloton. I think we're going to watch Jordi Meeuwis, your favorite for today, Jordi. He's at the right bottom of the screen at the moment. And yeah, maybe he wins.
Yeah, we will see. Also, another nice story, like you said, sprinting on a virtual race is really difficult. In the Wielerflits update, we talked with Fabio Jacobsen last week, or 2 weeks ago already, I think. And he told that, of course, for climbers and for time trialists, it's a very good way to train, to use those smart trainers and do some virtual races. But for sprinters, it's very difficult to win those kind of races because you have to do a lot of you have to go and do a lot of power outputs to win a race. And a sprinter, of course, can do a fast sprint at the end. But he said, yeah, normally for a sprinter also the more natural way of swinging in a sprint isn't doable on a smart trainer. So yeah, for sprinters it's not that easy to also win races in this virtual world. So yeah, maybe Jordi is capable of winning, but it's not necessarily a sprinter who has to win this sprint in 4.5 kilometers.
Attack from Daan Hole, a really good one as well. 8 watt per kilogram coming from the back of the peloton and now riding 30 meters in front of the pack. That would be crazy. Is he doing a Jesenijdam at the moment, Jordi? Maybe he is. It's from really far out, I must say. 4.5 kilometers to go. It's Joris Haaks who's trying to catch him back. He's also distancing the peloton a little bit. If they are able to get with the 2, then maybe they can be up here for something. Guys from SEG going to the front of the peloton. Maybe they can try to haul up the peloton and then let Daan Hole have a big gap. Oh, Jordi, it's getting really exciting. We're really close to the finish now, eh?
Yeah, and it's a pretty impressive move from Daan, who is, of course, the Dutch national time trial champion on U23. He maybe is capable of holding on his lead until the final line. So it's a really impressive move, and I'm wondering if he can, if he is capable of holding on his move.
Yeah, as you saw, he was just putting the watts down before the corner, and that was really well done by him. He was sparing energy there, saving energy, and then he was able to go full gas once again after the turn. He's riding at 6.7 watts per kilogram, 37 meters is his advantage at the peloton. It's not a lot, but you only need 1 centimeter to win it actually. So maybe he is capable of doing it. We can see riders in the peloton doing around 4 watt per kilogram, which is maybe not enough to get back. 41 meters, 43 meters. Daan Hole is trying to do something which is called a magical piece of cycling here in this first stage of the SEG U23 eRacing. Here we go to another corner. Let's see if Daan is saving energy here once again. You can see the red part at the left top of the screen. Now he's saving energy and now he needs to go full gas again. 6.7 watt per kilogram. Peloton got back a little bit of time there, but it's still 40 meters with 3 kilometers to go.
And yes, and Paul Wright again, who we saw a couple of times earlier this race, is trying to bridge the gap and also brings the peloton back a little bit closer to Daan. But Daan still is in front and has still 30 meters advantage. So it's really, really nice to see. But I think Daan's attack is reeled back in. so we can start over again. But it was a nice attack, so I want to cheer if anyone has something in the tank. Let's try to attack. It's still 2.5 kilometers to go. And yeah, it would be quite nice to see some action before the final sprint, if there is a final sprint.
Yeah, that's of course true. I'm currently at Jesper Rasch, who is one lap behind, so I need to go back there. Harrison Wood at the front of the peloton, making sure that he's finishing in the same time, also from the SEG eRacing Academy. 2 kilometers to go. It's really getting exciting. My heart rate is also going up, such as the riders. They are putting out big watts there at the moment. As you can see at the left top of the screen, as I already told you, 2 more kilometers. We can see the finish really far up there in the distance. Around 33 riders, I think, left in the peloton, and they are fighting it out for victory here. Oh, this is really exciting. 1.8 more kilometers. We're seeing Jordi Meeuws at the right bottom of the screen. He's looking focused. He's looking ready for that final sprint. But is there going to be a final sprint? That is the question, as Daan Hole tries it again.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, because normally when a rider does some sort of attack in the last couple of kilometers and gets reeled back in, he's normally not capable of doing the same output again. But he is trying to do it, and we also see some other riders of the SEG eRacing Academy, for example Harrison Wood, and I saw Marco Frigo and Wessel Krul up there too. They are forming some sort of a train. Perhaps for Jordi Meeuws, but perhaps for somebody else.
Michael Zeilert now, 10 watt per kilogram. SEG eRacing is really picking up the pace here. They are really pushing hard to make it a really fast sprint. Michael Zeilert now done with his turn at the front of the race, and we're currently watching the final kilometer of the race, ladies and gentlemen. 900 meters to go. We can see the finish there at the left side. Do you remember Yuri making the ting-a-ling-a-ling sound? He started off around here, so then you know we are really getting closer and closer and closer as you are watching Wessel.
Well, the ting-a-ling was quite long.
yeah, it was as long as we have to go now. 600 meters to go. Harrison Wood is at the front of the peloton. I'm trying to watch it as closely as possible. Philip Weber here, also from the Dutch team. It's Team Brandenburg, 400 meters to go. Magnus is also there. Magnus is trying to sprint as hard as he can. 300 meters. They are all shoulder to shoulder at the moment, as we can see the finishing line. One little flaw turn here at the left, and then we're going to sprint for it. Michael Zeilert up front, and also one more rider from the SEG eRacing Academy. Oh, it's really going to be close there. Who is going to win it? It's one rider from the SEG eRacing Academy. I'm trying to see who it is, but what a sprint was that, eh?
I think it was Stan van Tricht.
Stan van Tricht, aha, I didn't see his name pop up, but it could be Stan van Tricht. We're trying to get the results as fast as possible. Milan Paulus, maybe? I'm not sure, ladies and gentlemen. We're just gonna watch who won it. Maybe Jordi Meeuws knows it. Jordi, can you unmute yourself and tell us who won? Or maybe
He is already...
He's really done there. Axel, who won it?
Jordi.
Jordi won it! Jordi Meeuws is the winner of today. Thank you, Axel. Do you also know who was second and third?
Second, Lars D, and I was third.
Alright, so we have got the numbers 1 and 3.
Unbelievable. So what a sprint, what a sprint. So Jordi Meeuws, the winner of the first Swift eRacing. And as Ide Schelling told it, you are also right, Jordi. Well done to you. But of course, well done to Jordi as well. We're just giving him a little more time to rest a little bit. And then we're going to do the post-race interview. Unbelievable victory by Jordi Meeuws today in the first stage. So he is, after David Dekker, the next one who won it. So SEG is really good at this, Jordi. That's a conclusion which we can say.
Yeah, they really hammered this circuit. So they won the last time and they won again. So the team objective is accomplished. And now it's really nice to see if Jordi is capable of trying to compete for the GC. But I think the last race will be a little bit too tough for him.
I think we can interview him. Axel, if you can stay up there for a bit as well. Because we are going to go to Jordi first. Jordi, you won it. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So, when did you notice that David actually lost contact to the peloton? Was it really early in the race, or did you notice it later on?
He told us in the group chat somewhere halfway the race.
Okay, and then did you have a plan B, or was this already the plan to go for you in the sprint?
No, me and David were the two guys who had to try to go for the win because it's a typical sprint course. And yeah, we would see who would be the real leader in the race, but then David dropped away, so it was me who had to do it.
Okay.
Was it also for you a relief? So like from okay, so David isn't there now. It's my chance, or was it maybe more a little bit pressure for you that you had to do it today?
No, not really. Like I said, we started with 2 leaders. I was also confident in myself, and I had a good day today. And I knew I had a good chance to finish it off. Of course, all the other guys were also strong, but I was happy, to be honest, that I could take my shot today, and it worked out pretty well.
And what made the difference today? Was it the shirt you put in the freezer, or?
I'm not going to tell my secret, of course, but maybe it was that.
Jordi, there were also a lot of attacks from guys from your team. We saw Daan Hole, Michael Zeilaert really putting up the pace. Was that the plan as well, or?
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was the plan to just try to win the race. And for sure those guys have a lot of power in the legs, and they tried to attack. It didn't work out on a really fast course. And then we had the plan to go for a sprint.
Yeah, tomorrow it's a home race for you actually. It's on the Paterberg. How big are your chances to keep the leading jersey actually?
We'll see how it goes tomorrow. Normally the course would suit me. We'll see what the time gaps will be and how heavy the Paterberg will be in a big group. For sure it will be hard, but we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. Do you have any more questions, or is that it?
No. What are you going to do to enjoy this victory, Jordi, tonight?
I think I will open a few bottles of champagne and get really drunk.
No. There's a stage tomorrow, Jordi. You can't do that. It's a normal Thursday.
My recovery shake and hopefully a good sleep, and then we'll try to get ready for tomorrow.
Enjoy your victory, Jordi.
Thanks for talking to us. Yeah, the first one, Jordi Meels. Second was Lars Droogmans, an individual rider. And third was Axel van der Tuk. He's here with us today. Axel, how did it go?
Yeah, it was better than last time. It was quite good.
Yeah, you're currently holding your phone at the fan. Can you please put your fan off for a bit?
Sorry, first time I got 2 fans at my side.
Yeah. I understand, that's okay. So Axel, your head went really red actually at the beginning of the race.
Yeah.
Was it a ventilation problem or something like that? Do you think you could have improved on that maybe? You would have won the race otherwise, or?
No, I don't think I can improve on it. It's a really hot day. I've been outside a lot today. So I think that's also because of why my head is a bit red.
You burned a little bit today.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
So Axel, if I'm correct, you were 33rd at the Ster van Zwolle, isn't it?
Excuse me?
You were 33rd at the Ster van Zwolle, isn't it?
Yes.
So where are you more happy about? Is it the 3rd place today or the 33rd place in the Ster van Zwolle?
I think Ster van Zwolle, yeah. It's actually my first podium, so I must be really happy with it.
Hey, and how did you thought about before the race of being able to get on the podium, Axel?
With the eRacing, it's really hard to say. But I know, I think the more I'm doing e-races, the better you get in it, because you really learn how it works. And I think I knew that I'm pretty good in the sprints on on eRacing and Swift as well. So I thought if I would be there, that I could maybe get a good result.
How do you fancy your chances in the other two stages?
Yeah, I think tomorrow it will be quite okay. Maybe I'm quite good in the short climbs and a bit explosive climbs, and yeah, so that will be quite good then. But I think Saturday will be a hard one because my watts per kilogram are maybe not as high as some other guys. So yeah, to try to maybe get some time again tomorrow and see how long I can stay in Saturday.
Yeah, and if there is a possibility on Saturday to try to get a top result in the GC, how do you think about that?
Yeah, that would be fantastic, of course. I think in this time you have to make every bit of competition and make the best of it. And yeah, it's really nice to compete against all the other riders right now. And yeah, if you can do well in that, then of course it's really nice, and it's really good.
This is our full top 5. Jordi, we have it. So Jordi Meeuws is the winner of today. He's going to wear the pink jersey for tomorrow. Lars Droogmans was second, one of the individual riders. Axel van der Tuuk from team Jumbo-Visma Development Team. We just spoke to him. He is third. Tom Smeets, team van Uitert, team De Jonge Renner he's riding for. He went fourth. And Wessel Krul, also from the SEG eRacing Academy, was fifth. Julius Johansson was sixth. So that's also a good result from him, I think.
Yeah, it is, and very curious to see which guys did lose contact in the last few Ks with the front group. Maybe there were some GC riders among them who lost some vulnerable time today, and have to attack tomorrow and the day after tomorrow to be back there in the top of the GC. So I'm pretty excited to see how the full results will be.
Yeah, we have the full top 10 for you, not on the paper, but we're just going to read it out. 7th place for Carl Tronstedt from the Holdsworth Seppi Racing Team. 8th place is for Magnus Martinsen Koolset from the Dare Bikes Development Team. We have Dennis Grasvold, he went to the 9th place, and then we have Joris Haaks in 10th position. So there we have it, that's the full top 10, that's how it went. If you want to see the complete results, they need to watch the social media channels of the SEG eRacing Academy, and otherwise we're just back tomorrow for the Paterberg Loop, eh Jordi?
Yeah, pretty excited to see how this will develop, because we did the Borrego circuit once before. I think this was a very more attractive race than the first one, which was, I think, pretty boring. But this was a lot better to see, and yeah, I'm really looking forward how the races will develop to start tomorrow on the Paterberg.
Yeah, so that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully see you back tomorrow, a few minutes, maybe 7:45, and then we'll start off with some interviews as well. Maybe we'll show the full results to you. So make sure to be there, make sure to follow the SEG eRacing Academy on social media to make sure that you see the full results once they are up. And then see you tomorrow for the Paterberg Loop. Bye bye!